Here are 3 mistakes I see beginner editors making. My name's Brendan, and today we're going to be going over 3 common mistakes I see from beginner video editors. And when I was just getting started, I definitely did all 3 of these, so I've definitely learned this from experience. So the first mistake I usually see is the lack of sound design. Sound is so important when it comes to video. It is half of the viewing experience. Getting quality audio and picking good music is only part of it. You'll notice in these videos, whenever I have transitions or titles, or if there's going to be something dramatic that I transition to, I'm going to use some sort of audio. Something is going in that track in order to emphasize that and help tell the story a little better. This could be glitch noises. It could be when titles come up, I use like a keyboard or a typewriter sound so that there's something to illustrate that happening on the screen. You don't want to lose an opportunity by not putting that audio in there. And I like to keep it subtle. Keep it subtle, have it where it's noticeable, but barely noticeable, where as the audience, it almost happens subconsciously and it's part of their experience, but it's not something they really are extremely aware of because it's not so overbearing. The second biggest editing mistake I see from beginner video editors is too much transitions. Complicated transitions or crazy camera movements or too much stuff. I think simple is better. When you look at movies that you see from Hollywood, a lot of times they're just using hard cuts or maybe a J cut or an L cut, but really they're not doing anything crazy as far as their transitions or crazy camera movements, unless it's like some insane action sequence. But for the most part, most of their cuts are just simple cuts in video, and especially with transitions that you see as default in the editor. If you get a new editing program, you want to use all those. I did too, and it was like every single cut, I had to put some sort of transition on it from the video editor, and that is just not a good idea. The third biggest mistake I see from beginner video editors is going overboard with the colors. I am guilty of this, and I am still working on coloring video as much as I can, but it is something I am still a beginner at. But when I was even more of a beginner, I would definitely what's called overbake images. I would put too much on them. I would put too much of a look. I wouldn't color correct them at all. And then I would like put on a heavy vignette and all of this stuff and just make the footage look really bad. So what I think the best thing to do for a beginner video editor who isn't really good when it comes to coloring yet and is still learning on that stuff is do some basic correction, get your white balance right, fix your exposure if that needs fixing, and then just a very, very, very subtle basic look, like maybe a little bit of contrast in there or whatever look you're going for, but finesse it so that it is subtle and it is not far off from reality, basically. You don't want to give it too much of a look and end up taking away from your storytelling because you basically just overbake the whole image. So those are the 3 mistakes that I see from beginner video editors. I'm definitely guilty of doing all 3 of those things myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was useful. I will see you guys in the next one. God bless.